Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching the originals. This is episode 3 of season 3. Hopefully guys are enjoying the series so far. It's been really good actually, in my personal opinion, this season. I think it's been a really interesting start with kind of like the people that we're integrating into it, or like the way we're going with the show, because they're teasing us that there's a new threat already in the first 2 episodes coming to take down the siblings. Now obviously we didn't get this Dahlia thing until kind of later on in the last season, because we started off with the Guerreras from the season 1. So I think this is really good. Like, we're straight away in there, someone that can come. They say something like the prophecies here, and it says that one of them's going to die, you know, someone's going to die from a friend, from a foe, and from a loved one, or something like that. And I mean, that is going to be really interesting. Klaus got shown in the last episode a vision from Lucien and his witch, which he was reluctantly, you know, like pushing aside, saying that it's not true. And then obviously at the very end of the last episode, he got Freya, who's actually on his side now, which I actually really like. She was in the bar, she was dancing, she brought a boy home, and Klaus come down and compelled him to, like, well, not compelled him actually, showed him his like vampire face, and the guy crapped it and ran off. And she was like, look mate, 3 weeks ago, you know, like, you literally hated me, and now like you're the overly protected brother. That's hilarious, and I'm glad they're working together. And she ended up, you know, doing the vision. She was saying he was right, he's not lying, something is coming and it's not going to be good. They're going to try and take you down. So I mean, I think the whatever it is looks absolutely mad. Literally, it actually does. It looks like a big massive dude with fangs. I think it is anyway, unless I'm thinking of something else. But you know, it's going to be interesting when that comes in. We've been shown obviously Lucien in the back when they first met him like years ago, and then obviously he's in the present as a vampire. And we were shown obviously in the episode that Lucien was introduced a king and his 2 kids. I think it was obviously a male and female, and now they're still alive in the present as well. And one of them in the last episode, basically the male, was trying to look after the female, the sister. I don't know if she's got something wrong with her. She's a little bit crazy. She, you know, like, she can't control her temper. She's at this like monk sanctuary, and he wants to make sure that, you know, she's zen and calm. And he's said that he's off towards New Orleans now. What is he coming there for? I don't think that the thing is that's going to attack them is him, but they're all connected somehow. This Lucien and these 2 are all connected with what is going on, and it's really intriguing. Now obviously Lucien, he's trying to take the bayou. He wants to build it into a golf course and casino or whatever, and he's attacked all the wolves. Well, obviously Haley is still missing. Jackson and Elijah think that she could beat one of the casualties, so they went to speak to him. Now he's quite clever, and he's got a shielding spell to only let people in. Klaus, his only sire, which is interesting, because Elijah was like, well, if I can't come in, boom, Jackson come firing in. He ended up biting him, attacking him, and finding out obviously like Haley didn't die because Davina took her. But what was interesting is with his bite that he's got, yeah, he didn't actually use Klaus's blood to heal himself. He went and opened a box and got like this white liquid out, obviously injected it and put it inside him, and it healed him. So again, that is literally, it's madness. That's the first time we've seen someone be healed that's not from Klaus's blood. We've got Camille. She is what would you call it, like that police officer in the first 2 episodes who was using her to like look at the crime scene. Like, I wouldn't say attacked her, what's the right word, like he kind of like infiltrated into a such like situation, and he was asking her questions, and he stole a laptop, and he was saying, look mate, like these O'Connells, you know, like I know who you are, and you've got a family line of literally hundreds of people that have died, gone missing, loads of mysterious stuff going to him. There's files on them that are blank, like people have extracted information. You're always in the thick of it, or you're being attacked, or you're helping. Do you know what I mean? And this guy's trying to dig. He ended up saying to her, look, I'm not actually coming after you, I'm trying to look out for you. Which again, it's really intriguing, you know. This is like 4 characters that we kind of like dipped in, and all of them might not play a factor, but it's still good that we're getting new people, and we've got a new threat obviously that we haven't even been introduced to. We've not seen Rebecca in the first 2 episodes, which I'm a little bit disappointed with, because we had a chance to have 2 Rebeccas, either the original or Eva Sinclair, and we went with Eva Sinclair, and then she's not been here, which is crazy. And you know, Davina, she wanted protection from Haley against this witch that stood up to her. Well, Haley went, she'd done the deed, she successfully done it, but as she was leaving, she got attacked by all the other witches, and she ended up going on a madden and killing all of them. Now one of them, the one that she originally killed, her son come, he's saying he knows it's Davina, and he's going to come after her, and he's going to make sure every single person knows that it's her. So she's been threatened. So I'm excited now to see if we're going to get a witch fight on witch fight. You know, we've got Klaus and his siblings scared of whatever's coming, and then we've got Davina scared of this other witch and the community finding out what she's done. So again, that is really fascinating. And then I don't know what's going on with Lucian and his police officer and Camille. So I can't wait to dive into today's episode, and if you guys enjoy it, please smash a like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode. Yes, I do love these backstories.
My memory of Lucian goes back to a time when our family was happy. In hindsight, I could have done more to prevent what was to follow.
There is something I must ask of you. For the Lady Aurora, if you would deliver this to her in secret, I would be eternally grateful. Shared affection for one another when we were children. If she would leave this place with me...
Not an idea I would advise.
Your family stay here cannot last much longer anyhow. The local villagers believe they are beset by demons. I would give her the note myself, but Tristan's jealousy is tyrannical. I cannot go near her.
It's interesting.
How could I tell him that Aurora was already in love with another?
No way.
In his desperation, he sought her out.
I trusted you.
Quiet! My handmaids must have seen him enter. Well, if the gods know, then Tristan himself will be alerted.
I will deal with them.
Go! Please, by the window, same as you came. Hurry!
Taken. Lucian qualifies as both friend and foe, and according to Freya's prophecy...
We are to beware both friend and foe. Brother, I wonder who among our family do you suppose has the greatest predilection for betrayal? And the wolf venom. Why would he lie to you, his sire?
Have you finally forgiven me?
I will consider it. When Haley forgives you, G arises from the dead and hell freezes over.
What was interesting about that is I totally forgot that we started the story with that story. Because when it cut to him sat at the table telling Elijah, I was like, oh, you know, and that was interesting. And again, I told you, man, Lucian saying that he didn't get bit off Jackson when he knew that he factually got bit, and now he's going to go and see him and he's going to be fine. It's going to raise questions.
Mr. Castle, Detective Kinney, LAPD.
Every one of the victims has the same profile. Successful, educated, white males living a playboy lifestyle.
It's Kenny. They got Lucian at the station.
These are a good team.
It's not Jazz Fest. Some of us have toddlers that need to sleep.
How are we supposed to live with all this noise? It's not just the noise. I'm claustrophobic, my skin is crawling, I'm irritable, I'm hungry. What are you doing?
Calling Freya to babysit. All right, I'm taking Mommy out for the day.
For the rest of you, keep everyone else in line. All we gotta do is write it out. Klaus and Elijah will get it sorted out.
Your current dilemma will get worse. The good news is, I can help. I'm Aya. Nice to meet you, Marcel Gerard.
I don't have time for this. Get her out of here.
A shame. I'd heard you were more hospitable. Will you hear my offer, or not?
That was well intriguing.
Wherever you are.
A Detective Kinney had some questions for him.
We should entertain ourselves right here.
I've never been one to turn down a snack.
Did Elijah get invited in last time? I cannot remember. I know Jackson ran in because he couldn't, but then after it, did Elijah get invited? Because it's interesting that he can walk in now. I know he said it was like a shielding spell. Like, it was different. He didn't say that somebody owned it and they had to, but he did say, you know, he was the only one that could invite him in. So that's interesting. The thing as well, what I think is interesting is that woman's just come into Marcel's place and said that, you know, she heard that he was more like welcoming to guests or whatever, but like she was quite rude to actually just walk right into his house and demand a drink or whatnot. But she was absolutely sick, getting on that guy's shoulder and snapping his neck and handing over that card. And she had like a ring on that was like, you see him with spikes sometimes, you use them to cut stuff. So I thought she was a witch, but maybe not. I don't know why he's not compelled himself out of it.
Oh, I read about this. Oh, those poor men.
You seem to know a lot about the case. Big fan of true crime?
Look at my watch, Mr. Kenny. My cufflinks. One of those faces might be mine.
Oh, you sound real frightened by the prospect.
People like me tend to have exceptional lawyers to get us out of trouble like this. I know that behind that mirror is Cammy O'Connell, and I would very much like to talk to her.
It's all on CCTV though, isn't it? They do record these rooms.
Well, you said yourself you're part vampire. Figured it'd be a good place for you to blow off some steam. You got muscle and a bad temper, but I'm pretty good with one of these things.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just a hit her with it, man.
Are you gonna stand there whining all day, or are you gonna show me what you got?
She needs to just get it all out, scream, start punching all the bags.
You asked to speak to me. Here I am, willing to listen.
The murder started
the same day you got in town. Not to mention, we know what you are.
It's not to say I had anything to do with this.
Why bother denying it if you are what you say you are?
3 souls caught in the orbit of family Michelson.
Oh, this is interesting.
I fear being a touch lenient given his intentions for my sister. As son of the Count, I may discipline staff as I see fit.
Step away from him.
Our house servants speak of demons hunting in the night. I asked what manner of creature had hunted her. She said she was certain it was the Lord Cole. I can only surmise that you are hiding, which means you are afraid. Should any misfortune befall me, I've instructed my fastest riders to spread word of your presence.
Oh, wow, that's what happened to his face. I was waiting for this table cut, because we transitioned into a cutscene from him. When he said he didn't do it and he looked and he pointed at the things, I was going to say they made it look like it was him, because in the mirror he cut his face, didn't he? And I was like, and it just, sometimes he just laid a bait and you take it, and that's obviously on the face of it. But then after he said that, I was going to say maybe it's this Tristan, but then we cut instantly into this scene, so I wanted to watch it play out. And then obviously now we've seen that Tristan done it to him. So it was, I'm saying that the person that is in the town is Tristan, because he said in the last episode we're going to New Orleans. So I mean, what makes me question is though, is that may have been even before the first death. It's got to have been if it's him, because then it'll fit into the story. If not, then it's a bit, 50-50. But it is intriguing. And I'm still waiting for the first time they figure out that they can compel someone.
You're choosing victims who are the contemporary equivalent of the privileged son who hurt you.
Messed up new guy comes to town. Messed up new guy is responsible for murders.
These murders are an attempt to disparage my good name. Now, if someone wants to weaken my ability to protect Niklaus because they themselves would like to see him dead...
Given that I'm 3 times your age, you held your own.
Oh, check this, mate.
That's me.
I've been instructed to make you an offer. I'll adjourn to somewhere more appropriate.
Hey, this is really good. Again, like, another good character, potentially.
The warning was for both of us. Friend, foe, and family. I'd like to see his, please.
Well, I never could resist a good spoiler.
It seems Lucian has intentions for Camille. I'm going to eliminate an old friend before he gets his teeth into my therapist.
Imagine if it was Marcel. I called it. If it is Marcel, I either called it in episode 1 or 2. I said it was Marcel. I actually did, so I'm going to be loving it if it is. But I don't want him to die. I'll be disappointed.
Klaus, Davina using us. If she blows out that candle, we're back to being wolves.
How are you gonna stand there feeling sorry for yourself?
Now you gotta control yourself.
I'm not going anywhere.
I wanted to just lick his face, literally. Yes, Haley. Oh, he's letting her feed. Mad. That was pretty hot, that, mate. That was hot. Haley, she said what I said last episode. What if the candle goes out when she's in the possession of the baby? Like, what's she going to do then? She can't control herself. I said this last episode. Like, nothing against her taking him, but I was saying I'm surprised Elijah let her go, knowing that there's a possibility that she could still transition. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if it happened, who's protecting her? So again, I'm glad she voiced it. It is a general concern. It's not hating. It's just an observation that you've got to consider. That was sexy what they just done. I enjoyed it. She's showing some restraint. And she did just need to get some of that anger out, isn't she? She's harnessing it the whole time. You can see she's stressed. She just needs to, like, rah, do you know what I mean? And if she's getting a bit of bump and grind as well, let's go for it, Haley.
Woman. She walked in like she owned the place. Smackdown City, which obviously went quite well.
Did this woman happen to have a name?
Aya?
I sired her.
Oh, that is sick, mate. Dip it in the blood.
We both know that nothing you say proves anything. Part of you must still blame him. Maybe you want to make him look bad in the eyes of a friend.
I know you have Klaus's ear, and I need him to trust me.
Drink.
What did you do to me?
Oh, that back's mad.
You know what I am. You cannot hurt me.
Oh, he's got it off his off a blade. Oh, he could kill himself now, couldn't he?
I am like you.
All I wanted was revenge.
He just dies. They do look sick, don't they, with the spears?
And so I died. Why should I undermine my own safety by leaving behind a trail of dead bodies?
You really think someone's trying to frame you for this? Who?
Why should I lie?
For the same reason you lied about avoiding a werewolf bite.
Then you're giving Tristan the victory he seeks.
I'm going to need a word with Lucian.
I thought he was going to do that thing where he just dismisses it. No, Tristan's not here, and go. And I was going to say, come on, Klaus, man, you should have learned now for the past few episodes at least. This woman as well, I'm assuming she's part of Tristan's crew, so she is old.
Scratched you with a toxin of my own devising. Kicks like a mule, doesn't it? You were turned by an original, yet you made yourself in your own image. Let us help you return New Orleans to what it should be.
Klaus was going to do that as well.
Pitch.
We are called the Strix.
Quite the prestigious organization.
You have to break rules if you want to build a new world.
I know you're not alone.
Let her go, Elijah.
I'm very...
Oh, mate. Now, this Tristan... I had it with Wes Maxfield in the Vampire Diaries. Somebody that you instantly look at and dislike. That is literally the vibes that I get from him. He's too cocky, he's dead smug, and like, I mean, obviously, if he plays that role, it's perfecting, innit, mate? He's playing it to a T, doing his job so good. But right now, honestly, I could tell why everybody's disliking him.
Mr. Michelson and I require the room. Please leave us. Your sideline. Your life is at stake.
Marcellus, please. And you would do well, selective about the company you keep in future.
Maybe you should remember who your friends are. It looks like you're gonna need them.
Ask me anything you want. As I've said, I am only here to protect you.
And yet you lied about your werewolf bite.
Don't you have greater concerns than a little wolf bite that I can cure on my own? Who else but Tristan? If you kill me and are forced to stand alone, wouldn't that benefit him?
I'm quite capable of protecting myself.
Undoubtedly. But who looks after your family? Your friend.
Cocky, innit? I like him though.
I'm Mr. Castle's legal consult, here to ensure justice is served.
You're free to go, Mr. Castle. Don't leave town.
It looks like they're doing two teams. It looks like they're possibly going to push Elijah and Tristan and Klaus and Lucian. And that would be really good. Imagine if that Marcel got a little team going as well.
Marcel is a potential recruit. He has nothing to do with the larger issue we face. Your line, thanks to my Strix, has wreaked all manner of havoc on Lucian. As a result, he's desperate to exterminate the lot of us, me, Aya, everyone you've sired. While I doubt he'd have the gall to attack you directly, I believe he might try and find someone else, namely Niklaus. From what I hear, he tortured his friend Marcel, cursed the mother of his child, and burned your paramour alive in front of you. Lucian Seer believes there's an object capable of killing you. Logically, then, one must assume that Lucian has it or he knows where it is.
Wow, this is
In
really
any hope
interesting.
of finding that which can kill us all, Niklaus needs to be stopped.
It's mad. This is mad, like, because it's kind of like, yeah, how can I say it? You don't want to go after your family, but they kind of being like hands tied behind the back. It's either like save yourself or yeah, I'll take somebody else out. Like they were saying in the story, it's like either save yourself, Elijah, and stop Niklaus, or you know, you're going to die. And it's the same as him. Now, Lucian seems like these are making it out like he's got all the cards right now. Obviously, he's got something that can cure the werewolf bite. They're saying he's got a weapon that could take down Elijah. Now, obviously, I've come to understand when they're saying there's a war between the sires. I did say, is it between, you know, Klaus, Elijah, and Rebecca? No, it's not. I'm guessing what it means is the sires is everybody that's sired underneath Klaus are all fighting against everybody sired underneath Elijah, and they're fighting. And it's like, well, sack this then. If I want to take you out, Tristan, you know, I want to take you out, your sister out, then we'll just take Elijah out and all of yous are gone. That's what I'm assuming. So when Lucian says to Klaus, mate, I don't want you to die, you know, you're the last person, X, Y, he actually means it. He wants to protect himself, but he might have this hidden agenda. Now, again, they're kind of making it play out that it is, well, they tried to say, obviously, it's not Lucian because he was in the police station, so he couldn't have done that body. But I'm saying it couldn't have been Tristan as well because he was there having a conversation with Elijah, was he not? Unless he's done it beforehand, which again would be really interesting because it's like he would have had to do the first two murders at the start before he was fully introduced to be coming to New Orleans. So again, man, I might draw my opinion away that it being Tristan. It might be somebody else. It might be the third sideline, whoever they are. We know we're still waiting for that one to be introduced. But I think it's mad. I've got to counter him though. He said that, you know, Klaus was willing to do all this, take everybody down to defeat his enemy. But no, I disagree. He done all of that until he went against Elijah and Rebecca and Marcel and all that because he was trying to save Hope, his daughter. Not because he was going after an enemy. It was that enemy was taking out his one thing that he cares about, everything. So that is a little bit different. I get where you're coming from, but there was more to it.
For the record, Vincent thinks you should kill him. He said something about rising like a phoenix.
You started again.
Lucian has a taste for hyperbole.
This is where they find out their blood, does it? Mad. It's well good watching this.
So then we may only heal the living.
Mate, he's the first sired. That's mad, isn't it? Thinking it.
He's the first person you ever turned. Is that why this is so hard for you? Because he's not lying. If he is telling the truth, if he is here to help you, you don't have to kill him.
We should talk. Brother, if you desire any kind of reconciliation with me, stay your hand.
Oh, you do not know all that you are missing.
My family!
Lucian! We are as alike now as brothers. Teach me to be what we are.
I should have killed him in that chapel. In some ways, we made each other who we are.
We will end him.
It is good to hear that word again. We. I've claimed righteousness in my actions towards you. Perhaps I did stray a little too far from the shores of reason. Freya's prophecy speaks of family against family. I want you to know you will never fall by my hand.
Nah, Elijah knows that was good.
Hey, you okay?
I'm not sure what's more annoying. The Strix coming into my home or Elijah dismissing me like some kid.
If Lucian isn't the killer.
The hell are we really dealing with?
I'll be in New Orleans shortly. And don't start the party without me.
I want to see her and Cammy come face to face and how Klaus is going to react. So that is going to be one interesting visual. Now, who is killing these people? Now, I'm not saying it. I'm saying it's not her as well. Because obviously I'm saying that these killings are happening before that scene. I mean, after, sorry, that scene that we've just seen them. So I'm saying it's the third sideline that wants to fight with the other two. He's coming, and whoever it is making a statement. Now, I did think it was Tristan, but again, he stood there at the barrier, so I don't know if they kind of like swung us away and saying it's not him, or maybe it is. He's coming to the crime scene to look at the you know, what he's done, because killers do that. You know, they do return to the scene to see how people are reacting. So it's really interesting. I mean, I like I said, I'm actually really happy that they've decided to keep Vincent in the show, even if it's this little Cammy's like side partner, not like relationship, just like tag team, innit? I think they work really good together, and like I enjoyed the scene that they had with Lucian when he was explaining about, you know, what happened to him and how he was whipped and all that, and he was saying why would he come and drop bodies in the city? It's just gonna put, you know, take defenses kind of away from Klaus, and he needs Klaus, he needs to stay alive. And then they also released information to Klaus that why would I need to come to Klaus about having that werewolf, you know, bite when I can heal it myself? And Klaus was like, you know, like a bit shocked. So again, man, some good little drops here and there. You have to like pick up on them and see it, but I really enjoyed it. That's gonna wrap up today's episode. Hopefully guys did enjoy it as much as I did. You know, I think again, man, I've always said it, I am consistent with lots of information gets you thinking all the time. Who's this, who's that, are they good, are they bad? You know, like that's just good enough itself without dropping in a couple of deaths here and there, because your mind's ticking. You get lots of information, you're trying to guess where we're going with the story, you know, like who's the badder, you know, like is Elijah going to team up with Tristan and, you know, Klaus going to team up with Lucian, or, you know, are they going to double cross them both and then, you know, succeed in taking down this enemy and then boom, go after them two? This girl, obviously, what's she called, Aurora or something like that, I have to remember her name. She's now in the mix. She's dived off. She's coming to New Orleans. So that means that we've got, you know, Aurora, Tristan, and Lucian. 3 new characters, vampires, old vampires that have been introduced into the season, as well as that girl who handed the card off to Marcel. Maybe she could play something. Beck, or did they say the Strix? Again, man, Vampire Society, you know, like what a good way to open the season. Only 3 episodes in and loads of characters potentially coming in. We've not even used the characters much of the last season, which is actually really good if you think about it, because you're fully invested in the story, but we've not had really much of, well, we've had no Rebecca, you know, we've not had really much of Davina, not really had anything of Haley and Jackson. Okay, they have been in the episodes, they have been in it. Last episode, you know, she was like fighting a little bit, but I reckon, how long are these shows? 40 minutes long? And we've had 3 of them now. I'd say you could compile all of Haley's minutes to like less than 10. And she was a massive part of the last season. And, you know, you could do that with Davina as well, less than 10. And then you've obviously got these new characters, boom, loads of information, loads of excitement, loads of possibilities. Where are we going? You know, has Lucian got this weapon that could take out Elijah? And is he planning on actually doing it? Or is that something that he's spinning? Yeah, is that what Tristan's spinning to tell Elijah to get him to be the one that kills Klaus? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because he might want to be the one taking down that sideline. So he might be trying to infiltrate and tell Elijah things to get him thinking and going against his brother, like the prophecy says, and going and he successfully do the sideline without them doing any dirty work themselves. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of possibilities. Now, obviously, like speaking about Haley and Jackson a minute ago, man, they had a steamy sesh, didn't they, in that fighting cage. It looked really good. Haley, obviously, she's been angry for a little bit. She's stressed. She can't really cope with the possibility of having hope and then getting ripped away from her like that. She can't really do anything. She can't control the flame. And, you know, she's just stressed at that, and she wants to feed as well. She's starving. She cut Jackson, she licked his face, she showed some self-control, pinned him up against the wall. He went, and she bit him as well, actually, and he let her. He didn't even fight, so that is really, really interesting. Like, we've not even seen much of Freya, even though, like, last season was kind of all focused in on her. It was her story, not really much of it right now. She was here to babysit the baby just then, while Haley went and done that. But I'm really intrigued in who this killer is. Is Lucian telling the truth, or is he trying to double-cross Klaus? And obviously, what's going to happen when this girl turns up now? Because we did see in the backstory that she had a thing with Niklaus, and now he's got a thing kind of with Cammy, kind of not. I have no idea what it is. I'm saying it's a thing, and I want to see how they react, because obviously Tristan's here now, and it's just like all the gang is back together, the OGs, the first few that have been turned, I'm assuming anyway, and I'm absolutely loving watching them discover things for the first time. I've never thought about it physically before, but now that it is, it's like being through into a world and watching somebody do something, like I said, for the first time. And it's fascinating. You know, like, when did they find out that the vein is their weakness? When did they compel the first person? You know, obviously, they give the blood, then found out it heals. Have they put 2 and 2 together? That it is that brings them back to life, you know? Like, did they realise that they have to feed for them to complete the transition? Do you know what I mean? How did they know they fast? And all of this mad stuff, literally, is exciting to see. To me, anyway, I think it's great. And like you said, we learn for the first time by killing one, you kill all the sires in the Vampire Diaries, and that was a first, and that was like an oh my god, and like this is really intriguing as well. So actually, I'm really, really enjoying this season. I think it's been a fantastic introduction, and I actually cannot wait to watch more. You know, I don't think we've actually had one bad episode of the originals, and that is literally, that is a fantastic compliment that you can give to a show. So thanks so much, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash a like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I will catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.